All right, guys, episode 2, Dynasty Trades in 5. I'm Clay with Dynasty Pandemic.
Shane with Dynasty Trades HQ.
And I am Scott with Dynasty and Chill.
All right, awesome. All right, tonight is Mark Andrews. Let's go. Let's talk trades. Mark Andrews. Go ahead, Shane.
I traded for Mark Andrews, and looking at the market, I overpaid for Mark Andrews in a tight end premium. I'm just going to say it's a premium. Shut up, Scott. In a tight end premium league, because 1.25 counts as a tight end premium league, I gave up Eric Ebron, and right now, what is the 107 in a 14-team league? But as me and Clay already looked at, Scott wasn't around, that 107 probably more likely the 110, 111.
I just think that the premium is probably, I don't want to say it's not enough, but you're paying probably sticker price. I mean, and I love Mark Andrews. I mean, if you look at his routes run, if you look at his historic efficiency, which has always been off the charts, and now you have the Ravens trending up as at least a neutral pass team, I think he's probably got a higher ceiling than we've even given him credit for. And I think we've punished him, and just like we've punished a lot of teams for being quote unquote low volume, you know what I mean? But when you have efficiency tied to a quarterback, volume doesn't matter as much. And really what I'm trying to do is shift my thinking a little bit on someone like Mark Andrews. I don't ever expect the Ravens to be a top 10, even top 12 in terms of pass attempts. But if they can just crack like the top 16, top 20, you have a really efficient passer throwing in the ball. And he's proven before in the past, he is he's off the charts efficient with the targets that he gets. And now he's running routes on more than 80% of the snaps that he's out there. So he's literally out there as the number one weapon. Even if they bring Bateman in, I think he's got a higher ceiling than we give him credit for, because he doesn't need to get there on volume. He doesn't need 140 targets like Darren Waller. He doesn't need 130 like Zach Ertz used to get. He can get there with 110. So.
And if he ever gets even anything approaching that, he's going to smash the tight end one. Now he won't, obviously, because the Ravens have shown that even if they have just the absolute worst running back quartet in the league, they're still just going to throw at league average. But like you said, that's all we need for him with the type of efficiency that he provides.
So in a 1.75 tight end premium, let's say you were open to selling Andrews because you were looking for just straight picks. What would you sell Andrews for if you're talking straight pick value?
1.75.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's getting like wide receiver one pricey there for me. You're giving me 2 firsts, or I'm not moving them.
Same with you, Scott?
I mean, I agree with, if I'm on the sell side, that I probably want the 2 firsts. I don't think you get that, though. I think you probably have to be a little more creative. So it's really hard to say his price and picks.
Right.
We saw him move in a 175 league for a future first, 2023, which I'm super high on, and that's a point per carry league too. So yeah, having a first in 2023 is going to end up being really good, but I still think that's an underpay for Mark Andrews in that format. I think the way to buy these tight ends or sell these tight ends has to be pivoting from one tier to the other. And how much risk do you want to take? I mean, do you want to go from, like, if you want to acquire Andrews, you can probably go from like Kyle Pitts to Andrews in a first, or Hawkinson to Andrews in a first. Like, you can probably get that done because the person that you're trading away or trading the tight end to is probably interested in Pitts or Hawkinson, you know, and they may play ball with that. Vice versa, if you were willing to pay like, I don't know, Tyler Higbee in a first to get Andrews, you can probably do that too, just because you're essentially coloring up and the other team's getting all the leverage. They're getting the extra pick. So I would go either way. It's just really hard to price in picks. So, I mean, I wouldn't buy for 2 firsts, but I would want to sell. Like Shane said, I'd want 2 firsts back.
So I have a perfect example of what you're talking about. I'm looking on the Dynasty League Trade Finder. A 2022 second, a 2023 first, and a 2023 second for Mark Andrews.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting, it's a 1 QB league. I don't see any premium there. So they really, wow, that's a little more than I would pay. I'm not going to lie to you. With no premium whatsoever, that's probably a little more than I would pay. But, you know, some people want to get their guy.
Yep. Yep.
Well, and I paid a third on top of Fant to get Andrews. And so I think that's, they're so close. Some of these guys in this same tier, like, you almost have to come with a little bit of an extra piece to get the player that you want. But that trade you're talking about, even in a 1 QB, I mean, you're just giving up a bunch of extra pieces. And you know what? If you really wanted Andrews, let's say it's like a start 8 or a start 9 and you have Lamar Jackson. Okay, you throw in a late first and a start 1 QB. I mean, what is that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't hate it if you want to get your guy, but that's not really playing the market, I don't think.
What do you think? Are we up at 5 minutes?
Yep.
Indeed.